There's our ship.
No, that's Vantage. That's not Viking. No. Yes. Vantage and Grand Circle are two properties. Sorry?
I had a half right.
It's half right, yes. And we're not allowed to mention the nasty B word, which is Viking. Our biggest competitor at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our little vicinity walk. From tomorrow on, we have our fabulous whisperers, our heads, and since for now, I'm awfully sorry that I'll have to scream at you. Gentlemen, Amsterdam, great city to start your tour, very interesting city, one of the most cosmopolitan cities in Europe, I would say. 750,000 inhabitants approximately, rather small, but 152 different nationalities. Okay, it's very interesting little city here. Of course, we will not have a city walk yet. I won't give you too much information, don't worry. What I would like to do with you is walk you to the train station, point out a supermarket, point out a drugstore, and of course also the streetcars might be interesting for you. In the afternoon, after lunch, you might want to head off for some tour on your own museum, like the Rijksmuseum, all these museums, of course, are absolutely fabulous and worldwide known. I would like to show you how to get there, okay? So I'm going to wait for a while. There was a question here. To get to the museums or to the Anne Frank House is usually the easiest way to do it. But the Anne Frank House, to be frank, if you are an active walker, you can also walk it. I'm a very fast walker. I do it in 20-25 minutes. Since you don't know the place yet, you might walk a little slower, you might check out all the beautiful buildings, so it might take you 45 minutes. But it's a scenic walk. Just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the Anne Frank House, we will do with you tomorrow a guided canal boat ride, and we will stop at the Anne Frank House. Also keep in mind, the Anne Frank House is one of the most visited sites here in Amsterdam, which means to get in there, long queues usually. So I highly recommend either you do it later in the afternoon, today at like 3 or 4, you might have a chance, not guaranteed. Don't come back to me and say, we have to wait for an hour in the queue. Usually the queue gets smaller, shorter in the later afternoon. Or you can try tomorrow morning after the canal boat ride. But once again, very long queue. Forget that was actually an office building and a residential building, and they were hiding in this very small back room, more or less. So it's really very small. That's why you have these long queues. They can only let in a certain amount of people per time. But I think we're complete now. I think here are those red lanes. Can you all hear me even in the back? Come closer, please, so you can hear me. These red lanes means those are lanes for the bicycles. Never walk on the bicycle lane. We have an expression for the bikes that ride on those lanes. We call them the killer bikes.
There goes the train.
Hello. One of the very
said train to Arnhem.
Intercity naar Amsterdam.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Centraal Wegenwageningen, Arnhem en Nijmegen van 10:23.
So let's stay a little bit away for the locals and block the way, right, for a moment. You might have realized loads of bikes, as I've mentioned before, 600,000 bikes, ladies and gentlemen, in this city. 600,000, that's an enormous number. I also told you before, 750,000 inhabitants. Where do all these people live? Once you see the city center, you will be aware these 750,000 cannot fit all in those small canal houses in the city center. Therefore, the Amsterdam has created artificial islands, polders. This is what the Dutch are famous for, right? Polders across from our ship. On the other side where we were walking, you've seen a couple of buildings. These are residential buildings. How do you get there? You will find, once you are on the Sunday today on the ship, you will find blue and white ferry boats going back and forth. These are the ferries that would take you from the old part to the newer part. Now it is said that the Dutch are, how am I going to put that in a nice way? Frugal, right? Frugal. Not to say stingy, right? So those ferries are the only thing here in Amsterdam that are actually for free of charge. You can go from this side to the other side. You might have also realized on the other side a very impressive modern building. Did you all see that? That is the new museum of cinema, of films and cinema. Because some of you were asking about it, so this is the new museum for films and cinema. Now let's get down to practical things. Any of you forgot your toothpaste or your shaving foam? No, you don't know yet, right? Well, if you did, or if you need any over-the-counter medication, you would go to ETOS, E-T-O-S. This is a drugstore. You can only get over-the-counter medication here, nothing with a prescription. That you'd have to go to a pharmacy. Now, the Dutch are famous for licorice. Where are my licorice lovers? Sweet licorice? Also salty licorice. The Dutch, they have like over 20 different types of licorice, from very sweet to very salty. You would find it, of course, in a supermarket, and the supermarket is right here. That's the closest supermarket to our ship, the Albert Heijn chain. You will find them all over town. Whenever you see the AH, then you know Albert Heijn, big supermarket chain here. What else can you find here? Yummy cookies, stroopwafels. We put it in our learning and discovery sheet, which you can pick up later on from our hospitality desk. Stroopwafels, typical Dutch cookies. It's wafers filled with caramel syrup, and they are delightful. I'm not allowed to come back home to mommy without at least one bag for food, okay? So just to show you how yummy they are, okay? Shall we discover a little bit more? Let's go. Now that is a typical Dutch discovery. Come closer, otherwise you can't hear me. And my words of wisdom you don't want to miss out on, right? So a typical Dutch discovery, you will also find this all over Amsterdam or all over the Netherlands, are those little machines here. You can actually get hot food out from here. You throw 150 in and you get out a frikandel. What is a frikandel? That is mashed potatoes. Let me tell you, the Dutch mash everything and then you fry it. So it's mashed potatoes with some minced meat, ground meat, and then it's fried, deep fried. Then they put it in here, it's like a microwave, they keep it warm, and you can eat this delightful thing for €1.50. Now, of course, you've heard a little bit of my sarcastic tone. Of course, it is very unhealthy, but it's yummy, yummy, yummy. Once again, chicken sticks, all sorts of stuff that you can get with €1.50. Just be aware, this machine does not give change. So if you really want to try it out, you can change money right here in the machine next to it. Okay? You have to put in an exact change to get your thing. Does not give change, okay?
They have a flower market.
5 minutes or so. It is small, but right now a lot of flowers are in bloom. It's very pretty. And it's in a very interesting area of Amsterdam. If you want to go there, let us know later. We'll mark the best route for you on the map, okay?
The money exchange.
Let's get back to the more practical things in life, not beautiful things like flowers But things that make our life a lot easier, right? Money. If you need money, here you have an ATM machine. Right here where you see all these people standing in line, they all want to have money. The best way, of course, for you to get local currency is with your credit card, a 4-digit PIN code. You withdraw it from an ATM machine. Of course, you are aware we do exchange money on the ship, $50 per person per day. I do recommend, if you want to exchange dollars, do it on the ship, because there are a lot of exchange partners around Amsterdam, but they might not give you the best rate or might take a high commission, so you might as well do it on the ship if you need to exchange dollars.
Do you do it with a credit card?
The question was, do we give you money on your credit card? The ship, no, we don't. But it has to be cash dollars, but of course you can withdraw with your credit card from an ATM machine. Actually the wind.
It's the wind. Oh, it's north. That's what it is. North, northwest. Okay, it's not a clock. It's to tell the direction of the wind.
City, just please take care of one thing. Pest of the 21st century. Pickpockets, right? Always have your hands on your belongings, especially in the more popular areas of Amsterdam, Wherever there are a lot of people, you will find a lot of pickpockets, okay? But it's a very safe city. Let me come back to the bicycles. Can you see all those bikes over there? That is quite a discovery where my flag is.
There's a bicycle.
Bicycle parking lot. And it fits 6,000 bikes. Okay, 6,000 bikes. Works like a customer. Now, if we be going this direction, right behind me, I would ask you, what is this massive building over there, that beautiful building? Over there, can you all see it with a cross on top? That is St. Nicholas Church. St. Nicholas Church was built in the 19th century, and it is one of the few working Catholic churches here in Amsterdam. Most churches are Protestant around here, but most Dutch are not practicing religion. So a lot of the churches you will find, they're either turned into museums, even a supermarket, and there's one old church that has been turned into a discotheque. Only possible in the Netherlands.
No, we have it in New York.
Really, you have it in New York too? First time I hear that. Well, possible in the Netherlands and in New York. Okay, so the first time I hear that. So St. Nicholas. Now St. Nicholas would be also your gateway to some of you we've been talking about already, the red light district of Amsterdam, right? Yes, we will go there. That was a lady, right? What's wrong with you? No. We will take you to the red light district today. In the evening, whoever wants to join us. It is, of course, a controversial topic, red light. You have ladies behind windows, like merchandise, right? It is a controversial topic, but we would like to show you this part of Amsterdam, also one of the most famous quarters in Amsterdam, and I can also gladly say one of the safest areas also in Amsterdam.
Shopping and no senior discount.
But we would like to take you there later on, so whatever you'd like to do today, you might want to just keep that for tonight. We'll take you there, we'll go there in the big room, and we'll explain a couple of things to you about the red light district. Okie doke? Perfect. Now if you look right behind me, you will see the Victoria Hotel. Can you all see the Victoria Hotel? Hidden a little bit behind the tree. The street right next to the Victoria Hotel, that's the Damrak. It's spelled D-A-M-R-A-K. Damrak. D-A-M-R-A-K. And basically this street is your gateway to all the historical sites in Amsterdam. This street will take you, it's a very busy street with a lot of souvenir stores, and it will take you straight to the Dam Square, the Dam Square. And this is where the Royal Palace of Amsterdam is located. Now you do know this is a monarchy here in the Netherlands, right? They just recently have a new king, Willem-Alexander. He's the new king with his lovely wife Maxima. They don't live there. This palace is only used for official purposes. They prefer staying in the political capital of the Netherlands, which is The Hague, Den Haag, right? But still, the palace is there, it's pretty impressive, and the square in front of it is very impressive. A lot of outdoor cafes, a lot of very nice eateries. You can just hang out and watch the scene. Very busy place, very nice to watch the scene here in Amsterdam. Right next to the Dam Square, there are many different streets. One of them is Kalverstraat, a regular shopping street in case you're interested. And other streets would lead you directly, for example, to the Anne Frank house, etc., etc. A lot of the sites that you can just see by walking around, you will be able to access from the Damrak, okay?
Now the Damrak is to the side of it or the one in front of it?
The Damrak is to the side of it. You are at the Victoria Hotel and it's the street that would take you this way, straight ahead, okay? And of course, if you have a map, I can mark it now after we finish with the vicinity walk, or later on you come back to the ship and we'll mark the best ways for you and we'll mark the sites for you. Let me show you one more thing before I let you go. They're on the desk. Yeah, they're on the desk. Let me show you one more thing. I'd like to show you the tramway stops. The Dutch are extremely practical people, very efficient people. So of course, you have our learning and discovery sheet where all the museums are listed, all the major museums and how to get there. But the Dutch did this already on this board right here, right? So you can find all the streetcars listed here. They would be stopping from behind us and leaving from behind us, right? You can see them here, right? Those streetcars. So let's say you want to go to the Rijksmuseum. A lot of you want to go to the Rijksmuseum, right? Let's check. Rijksmuseum, right here. You take the tramway 2 or 5, right? 2 or 5. Now, question. How do you know it's a 2 or a 5? Haha. Okay, first of all, at the stops you have electronic boards, and those electronic boards tell you which tramways stop there. And also, once a streetcar pulls in, you will find in front of the streetcar, in a little window on top, you will find the number of the streetcar. To be on the safe side, mix and mingle with the locals. The Dutch are extremely friendly people, unless they're sitting on a bicycle, but they're extremely friendly people. They know perfect English, most of them, and communicate with them. Mix and mingle with the locals. They're really sweet. You might not only find the way to the museum, but you might also have a very nice conversation with a real Dutch person, okay? So basically this is how you can find out on which tramway to get to your destination. How do you pay for a ticket? A single ticket, a single ride, one person, one ride, costs €2.80. You can buy your ticket from the conductor on the tramway. They usually do have change, but of course they prefer if you have change. If you give them the 280 straight, at the end of the day in the afternoon they might run out of change, right? So €2.80 for one ride. If you know that you're going to use public transportation a lot, we recommend a day pass, and that day pass would be €7.50, and you can also get it on the tramway. Any questions about that? We do highly recommend use public transportation, not only in Amsterdam, but in general. This is really a good way to understand how the locals tick and to be part of the daily life of the locals. It's exciting, it's an adventure. I'm aware Americans, you're not used to public transportation unless you're from New York. We're my New Yorkers. Unless you're from New York or San Francisco. But it's really an adventure to do public transportation. It's cheap, it's fast, it's punctual, it's reliable. You've seen all the construction sites here. where taking a taxi is not only less fun, but it might also take longer because there's a lot of traffic here in Amsterdam. Calculate 3 to 5 minutes. That one has a one over there. Let's see where the one takes us. The one would take us to the Amsterdam Museum, which is super interesting. And that's it. And to the Milkway. And to the theater.
Did they announce the stop?
Do they announce the stop? Yes, they do, but you might pronounce it a bit differently than the Dutch do. So just ask the conductor, please tell me when do I have to get off? And they usually are very nice about that.
These tramways, they are loose.
The tramways are, some of them are loose, some of them you have to check for the direction.
That's what I mean.
Yes, some of them you do have to check for the direction. But that's what the driver is there for, just asking.
What about 2 or 5? Is that a loop?
2 or 5? No, not a loop.
Not a loop.
Not a loop.
Okay.
You have to go this direction.
Should ask them to get off with and then stop it to go back.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
This direction. Hop on, hop on, hop off. Yes, there are hop on and hop off buses here in Amsterdam. Once again, I do not recommend because of traffic. You're better off with public transportation or walking. Okay?
Once you get off, you think I get You said the cost was 2.
Whatever it is, but it has to be hot and steaming. They put the cookie on top, and then the steam melts the syrup, and it's really, really delicious. So you might want to try them. Here they are, $2.25. Okay.
Is this the licorice?
No, that's the cookie. That's the stroopwafels. The licorice we can find over there.
Here is the reception area. And we're going in for our orientation. Trips over. Also, I have too many pictures of the lounge. But right now, this is the first video of the lounge. And we're doing orientation.
A lot of bikes, yes, thank you very much. The so-called killer bikes, those who went out, of course, already had an experience maybe, and I always say the bikes are really the kings of the road. Huh? And you really, whenever you hear like ting, 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 please get out of the way. It might be a bike or it might be a trolley. Huh? And it's like I say, don't fear the cars, fear the bikes. And it's also like me, if I go out, for example, on my bike and I'm not working as a program director, I always get annoyed, like, oh, all these stores, and I'll never watch out. And then I'm walking with you, and I'm like, oh yes, this is actually quite, we are actually quite rude, you know? I'm seeing it from 2 perspectives, so, but like I say, the bikes are the kings of the road, and we have over 1 million bikes in Amsterdam. We have twice as many bikes in the Netherlands as cars, which is quite interesting, I think, for you as an American. Huh? So for me, like I say, I grew up on a bike. What I really can recommend, if you want to know my country, what I really like, is please take a look at the bikes. You know, I know, get out of the way of course, but please take a look. You see like businessmen in suits and ties, you see little children, you see moms with high heels talking on their iPhones, even our Prime Minister, our king, because we switched from queen to king. They even ride on bikes, and you even see them in Amsterdam. So really, bike is part of our nature. So ladies and gentlemen, the Netherlands. The Netherlands really means the lowlands, and of course we are very low. We are about 15 feet below sea level, and you all arrived at the Schiphol, well, not all of you, but most of you. And Schiphol is already about under sea level, so to speak. It's really, like I say, we created the Netherlands with our system of mills and also of course engineering skills, and there's a really famous saying in the Netherlands that goes like, God created the earth but the Dutch created the Netherlands. Which is true, of course. But actually when I say the Netherlands and Holland, is it the same thing? No? No? Anybody knows? No? Because I also say, when I say my name for myself, I say I'm Anke and I'm from Holland. But actually, Holland is not correct. There's only North and South Holland, and North and South Holland are 2 of the 12 provinces in the Netherlands. Of course, they're the most well-known ones, where Rotterdam and Amsterdam are. And why is this? Well, because in the 16th and 1602, when the VOC, the so-called Eastern Company, got founded, and they went exploring all over the world, colonizing, well, most part of the world. We had over 5,000 ships in the 17th century. Most of the ships left from North and South Holland. So all those Dutch seamen that were sailing and colonizing around the world, and they went to all these countries, and people would ask them, where do you come from? And they would say, Holland. Huh? Not Netherlands, but Holland. It's kind of like the people from Texas. I don't know if you have anybody from Texas over here. No, nobody from Texas? There we go, there we go. So if you ask people from Texas, where are you from, what do you say?
Texas.
No, thank you. Well, normally you say Texas, and that's kind of like Holland is the same thing. So that's a little bit why. Another very interesting part about my country, which I'm really proud of, is our so-called pragmatic tolerance, ladies and gentlemen. What does this mean? I mean, if you walk around Amsterdam, you probably already saw it. You already smelled it a little bit, like I say, huh? You know what we're talking about. And it's all part of our politics and of our really tolerant system that's based on individual rights. Huh? In Holland, moral values such as religion do not enter in our law-making process. Huh? And this really, also has to do with our long history of course, of the colonizing the world and exploring the seas, that we got in touch with all these different nationalities. So in Holland, we're a really free-thinking country, and this is, like I say, this is the way. You don't have to agree with it. You can't disagree with it, but it's a different way of seeing things, and it shows, of course, in the numbers. Huh? We do have a very low crime rate. Like I say, it's very in Amsterdam, for example, in the red light district, it's very safe to walk around, and it's one of our really. If you want to get to know our culture, really step into a coffee shop, go to the red light district, and you can really feel what it's about. And if you go into a coffee shop, for example, you can see that about 90% or 95% is foreign. Dutch people just don't go there. And that takes away the whole, it's kind of the forbidden fruit theory. You know, and that kind of shows us the way we think, the way we are, and it's really, pragmatic tolerance is really part of our identity, so to speak. Huh? So for those tonight that are interested in that part, which is really, really important part of our culture, we organized a little walk for you through the red light district, ladies and gentlemen, after dinner. Huh? After dinner, for those who want to, we're going to organize a little walk and to show you what it's about. Huh? So if you're interested in that, I know you're probably a little bit tired, but this is really a good opportunity for you to see what it's about, what it's, like I say, this is also one of the most beautiful, oldest areas in Amsterdam. It's not only about the ladies, it's also about the architecture, the oldest churches over there, so it's really an interesting part of Amsterdam. Amsterdam was founded already there at the red light district, so it's a very interesting part of the city, so to speak. And we're going to organize a walk for you after dinner. Okay? How does that sound, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? You still have energy? Get to know Amsterdam. Or you can rent a bike if you want, right? That's also a possibility. But the canal is really, you can see all the main sites of Amsterdam. It's beautiful, and we do it also in color-coded groups. And we're going to, it takes about 1 hour, so to speak, and we're going to drop you off right next to the Anne Frank House. And the Anne Frank House, like you say, it's a very popular place, of course, but as we go by, you can already see if you want to make the line or you don't. Like you say, you can decide for yourself tomorrow. We're going to drop you off there, and for those who want to, they can rather join your program director to a little stroll to Dam Square. And that takes about 20 minutes, and we will explain a little bit to you about Amsterdam. Or you can also, if you're tired, you can take the same ship back to the boat again, the same cruise back. So tomorrow we're going to have a canal boat ride at 9 o'clock, and we will end at the Anne Frank House. In the afternoon, you can have some, in the afternoon we have to be back on the ship, which is really important, at 1:30. But before 1:30, you can still do a little bit of discovery by yourself. After the canal boat ride, you're welcome to join us to Dam Square, and from there on, we can point you in the right directions if you might want to go to a museum, or you might want to walk back to the ship, so we can do that tomorrow afternoon. As long as you're back at 1:30, because at 1:30, where do we go? No, you don't know? Cologne, there we go, we go to Cologne. So at 1:30, it's all aboard and we sail to Cologne. Then in the afternoon, at 3:30, we have a very important meeting. We have the so-called color-coded group meeting. And this is really important because it explains you everything about the ship, also about the optional tours, of course, and some really important stuff to know that we're going to do in the upcoming weeks. So that's at 3:30, and please don't miss it. That's for color-coded groups. So each group has their own spot. It's whether going to be in the restaurant or in the lounge. So at 6:15 we have a captain's welcome drink, and we have of course the crew introduction. And at 6:45 we have another port talk. At 7 o'clock we have the captain's welcome dinner. So for those who do want to dress up, can of course. And after dinner we got some nice dance music with our onboard musician here. So ladies and gentlemen, how does it sound? Good?
24 hours a day, takes 5 minutes and it's free. And it's a beautiful cafe and restaurant on the other side in the eye as well. Then you see all the new developments there, the new Palace of Justice, lots of old warehouses turned into new hip lofts. So the city is really expanding quickly, changing. Apart from the old center we're walking into, of course, that's UNESCO World Heritage. So has this happened? Beware. Yeah? Yes. We're crossing on the...
We learned all about that on our first tour. Stay out of the bike path. The central
train,
station, there's a
metro, ferry, subway, and tram, all there. In front of it, on the other side, that's that side, where the city center is, all the trams stop. So all the possible directions you might want to go.
where we were earlier.
Make us wait, but nothing's coming.
Yep. Gonna wait till the cars. We're going for our nighttime walk to the red light district. Going to the red light district. We're taking our walk. There's Starbucks.
And the new Amsterdam Conservatory of Music.
Is that what's down the road there?
Yes. Has a lovely view from the roof terrace though, this place. It's a cafe at the top. But the library also has a great cafe at the top with a beautiful view. If you have time, it's really... Yes, Starbucks is everywhere these days. Also here. Right. Like 3 in the station, 1 here.
Going across.
Travel now, see who has the most current. A little bit like Cruella de Vil's castle.
What is it?
But it used to be the head office of one of the big shipping lines of the Netherlands that used to sail the ships to the Far East, to Africa, to South and North America. Now these big offices, there are lots of them. Maritime Museum. You see a floating Chinese restaurant and a green sort of spaceship science museum. We'll still pass those places tomorrow on the canal boat.
Mexican steakhouse.
We're gonna go on the thing tomorrow. And the riverboat ride.
Very
Beautiful view.
Oh, maybe they invented. At the end, and then you see the South Church, the Zuiderkerk Tower, to the left of it. So this is sort of where the red light district starts. We'll walk in now. You don't see any ladies yet? No. Yeah. Okay. I guess we're all...
Canal. Look at all the bikes.
Watch you don't trip on the bike.
I know. There are a lot of bikes.
We see many of them.
Coffee shop.
So if you're over 18 and you have an ID, you can go in here and you can ask an explanation of the different kinds of marijuana they have, and you can smoke whatever you like. Okay. You'll see many of them in the next streets.
Marijuana shop. I like that church or whatever's up there with all the light on it. These are cute little side streets.
This is pretty at night.
Windows. You have mopeds trying to race through, so watch out.
There you go. The cars.
Kill somebody. We have a Chinese community which we will see. We have lots of shops of all sorts of kinds, lots of erotic shops of course. We have a presence of quite a gay community here as well. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever rainbow flags around you. So those bars are all here as well. So it's a really strange mix when we walk through between, marijuana, beer, smoked duck, and every other smell that all the tourists and other people leave behind that walk through here.
So is this all for the tourists?
No, I never do, or I don't know anybody Dutch who does. But I guess when it's allowed, it's no more fun, right?
Yeah.
So oh, I think forever.
Again.
Watch out for the bikes. They're already complaining. Shooting. Ah, of course. Yeah, that's.
Tattoos. We're on our evening walk. And I see our guide way up ahead. I see him up there. I see Barb up there. And I see our leader up there. Cute little streets, huh?
I think this is the busy side. Watch out.
They got a lot of bars. What? The street. I love the narrow streets.
Some of the larger supermarket chains
I know.
spread had flyers for what you can give your mother for Mother's Day. They had put toys like this in the brochures. And some people thought that was going too far, like, little son, a boy giving his mother an erotic toy for Mother's Day, so a debate went down over that, of whether that's acceptable or not. But the company didn't care, of course, acceptable or not, they just wanted to sell stuff. But for ladies only, just like we have sports clubs for ladies only, because they, sometimes want to get away from the men, so there's something for everyone. That's the point of the district.
And they got body piercing all over the place here.
Aviation, PIC, it means Prostitution Information Center. So there are prostitutes working there. They can give you information on how to do it, what to do, what it's like, anything else you might want to know about prostitution in this area. There used to be more women doing this work. We had problems with illegal women, with human trafficking, all that sort of thing. So it's been reduced. And also the city is cleaning up the neighborhood, the zip code 1020 as it's called, and taking windows out, as they call it, and putting like fancy coffee bars and galleries back in. So you can see it's being gentrified in some sense, I guess. The city wants to make it less sleazy. Okay.
There's something going on.
Oh, it's a man in a electric wheelchair who likes to race through this street on 2 wheels, on one to show his tricks. He does that all the time. Anybody else can. They pay tax, you pay VAT on the services that are being delivered. There are health checks, there are checks on whether they are legally here or not. There's checks on whether there are diseases or not, all that sort of thing. But at the same time, we got a lot of, let's say, young tourists that have little money. Right? And most tourists that come to Amsterdam come from England because it's cheaper to fly on a low-budget carrier to Amsterdam and drink here the whole weekend than it is to drink in London. So you buy your £15 flight ticket, stay in a cheap hostel, and you party in Amsterdam, which because it's cheaper, and plus you smoke here. It's a major attraction over London. But the city wants to get away from those kinds of tourists and get tourists that come for something better, because the city also has major cultural institutions, the world's best classical orchestra, a wonderful opera, architecture, all that stuff. But it gets to be only known for smoking and drinking all the time. And it's a bit tired of that, because it's only a very small district where this happens, but yet everybody always talks about only this, right? So it's being upgraded, if you will. The buildings are being renovated, prostitution is reduced and slightly moved out and away, and fancier shops and galleries are coming in the hope that tourists who spend a little more every day will come and be attracted to this area. I must say it's become a lot nicer since the cleanup has started a few years ago. But you tell me later what you think.
If you see a red light, you can imagine what that is. Red light. Alright, we're gonna go down an alleyway or something.
An example of city renewal. Nice restaurants instead of sleazy cafeterias and marijuana.
A nice restaurant. Video, because the girls are in them. But I can video the alley. Wave, Barb! Yay! We just went through the red light district, and I didn't take any pictures.
Good. Yes, you knock on the window, she'll open the door, and you discuss what you want to do, and she'll tell you how much that would be. Then you agree, or you don't. Watch out for the police. Somebody was asking about the police earlier. Well, here's one. Most of them are in plain clothes. Not too much, no. No, not that I know of, no. There are various police stations here, and the people who run the businesses keep them safe and secure, and keep the women safe and secure. So I'm told that between 40 and 50 euros is going fair for a normal service, let's say. But I guess if you want special services, it'll be more than that, right? So that's, yes, the women who work here pay to rent the room that they have. Yeah. And then, of course, they also pay income tax and pension and all that sort of stuff to the government now that it's legal. The philosophy has always been here that even if we ban it, it's still going to be there. So we might as well legalize it and control it. And we make some tax on it as well. There are still problems with illegal people being brought in illegally or forced to come to Amsterdam, of course, just like other big cities, to do this kind of work. There are women in Eastern Europe, you hear these stories a lot in the news here, who are brought here on other pretexts and then eventually end up working in prostitution. That is still a problem, even though it's legal. That's absolutely true. Yes, ma'am?
Perhaps to address this, and I couldn't hear, but when the girls are entertaining their clients, should the client become physically abusive in some way? Is there somebody there?
They have a button.
Like a bouncer or something?
Yes, they have like a panic button. They would push and they'll be there within a second, I think. Okay. And they won't be nice to you if you are not nice to the ladies. Yeah. Yeah, so we're ready. Sorry?
You do it more openly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You see the Bulldog here behind you is a famous coffee shop as well. Has its own t-shirt shop, just like the red Hard Rock Cafe. You know.
Going over the bridge
You have one when you've been to Amsterdam, and you see the boys inside smoking. That is the biggest sort of tourist group we get in Amsterdam. Young kids from all over Europe who come here to party. So, just like you. Right? So we're standing over for the nomination.
What a pretty sight. Sailors. Smelling it. Now we're in the Chinatown section. Chinese section. There's all my Chinese. We're in China's. And this, can you tell us anything interesting about the Chinese section that I missed?
This is maybe a tough district.
At least this street's not as crowded. I wonder why it's not as crowded. That's a nice picture.
That's another side.
Gotta video it.
Here at the back. Arabic? Heel dan niet. Many Roman Catholic churches in Amsterdam, if you're not. The Catholics, I think, are very good in all these hierarchies, right? So it's a little more important than it was before. But you see mostly apartments, and on the left actually of the church, all those are not apartments. There were 8 canal houses that have been turned into a hotel. That's happening quite a lot also. In my neighborhood right now, this is happening. Waldorf Astoria just bought 9 of those canal houses and is building a new Waldorf Astoria hotel on the canal on the Heringgracht, for example. So that happens to canal houses also, because normal people are actually not able to afford them to live there. In the old days, of course, they had a whole house people, but now they're all split into apartments, condos, but even those are too expensive for most people. So a hotel works better sometimes. From here, you notice that we're in the same sort of alley that we walked into the city. We're very close to the ship, which is across the road here and then under the railway tracks, and then you'll see it. Can't miss, just watch out for bikes, cars, trams, planes, all that sort of stuff. For any of you who would like to stay, of course, there's many places to have a drink if you would like. If you would like to try one of the local smoking specialities, we've passed many of them, but the last one before the ship is the one we also saw when we started here, called Voyagers. And that's the closest one to the ship, so when you're a little, happy from having been in there, it's not too far back home. The boat.
Alright, he said we're gonna fit 2 groups on the boat. Alright, we're taking off. I hope he's gonna use the speaker.
He said we're 30 use the tape, that's all I heard.
We're taking off.
That's what everybody heard, right? Unfortunately, the microphone on the ship is broken. We're using the tape that they have that will explain you anyway what we're going to see. So we can't scream to the boat like he was just doing.
Before we enter the old city, they goods from across the globe. In the middle of the last century, the Afsluitdijk has closed off the Southern Sea. Nowadays, this former sea is known as the IJssel Lake. In parts of the IJssel Lake, polders have been created, so that land was gained from the sea.
The area where all the ships from the Dutch hundreds and hundreds of
The green building ahead is NEMO, an educational attraction for science and technology. Visitors, young and old, can get going themselves with themes such as energy and technical science. NEMO is active and dynamic. Visitors can perform various experiments themselves. There are computer simulations and workshops. It is a place to experience how science and technology are part of our daily lives. You can even step into the life of a banker and trade on the stock market, perform research dressed in white overcoats in the laboratory, learn about the human brain, and drive an oil tanker. NEMO is for children and adults of all ages, and sometimes it even seems like roles are reversed here. Adults play around, and children's opinions are taken seriously.
There's the museum.
You want to be in the picture?
We are now sailing towards the building that accommodates the Dutch Maritime Museum. In the old days, this building served as a storage room for weapons of the Dutch Navy. The building was constructed in 1665 in less than 9 months, and it rests on a foundation of 13,000 wooden piles. The Dutch Navy used to protect the merchant ships from pirates.
I guess
The museum is also home port to the VOC ship the Amsterdam, a replica of a merchant ship from the 18th century. The VOC, or United East Indies Company, was the most powerful trading company of its time. The ship is beautifully decorated. The Amsterdam can be viewed all year round. Every day there's a ship's company on board. They take the visitors along to the world of 1749.
It's on the other side. I can't get it because it's on the other side unless they turn, but I don't think they're going to turn. It's on the other side. I should have went out on the back. So I could have went either side.
Well, you would think we have to come back.
No, I don't. We're not even coming back on it.
Amsterdam was an unemployment project to get working experience, and it took 6 years to finalize the building of the ship.
I'm hoping we're going to get on the
Under the supervision of shipbuilder Kees van der Meer, approximately 400 people have cooperated on the construction.
I know. I think we're turning around so I can get it. Hopefully. Hopefully we're going to turn all the way around. I'm going to be able to get it. We're turning. There it is. I don't know. I come back as far as I can get on it. And the sun is not helping. The sun. See, I'm going to get all the people. At least I got rid of the reflection of the glass, guys. There was the aftermath. Okay. So much better.
Amstel River at the end of the 12th century. This dam was part of a network of dikes, which had been constructed under the authority of the Bishop of Utrecht after a flood. Around 1200, however, a little settlement existed along the dikes which lay on both sides of the Amstel. Legend has it that 2 men and a dog, who came upon a dry and fertile piece of land after a shipwreck, had founded Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the 27th of October, 1275. On this day, the name Amsterdam first occurred in the toll concession. Around the year 1300, Amsterdam was granted city rights. With this, its inhabitants were also granted.
There's the ship over there. Eurodam. Now they can say something, the video come out better because we're not facing the sun. Come on, let's say something. I think that's what we came out of right there. There goes the train. You're not cold, are you? Okay. Just making sure nobody's cold. I like to be able to not get the glass in the video. Otherwise you get all the reflections of everything. Now she can say something now. I'll shut it off, she'll start talking. There goes, there's the Chinese place up there on this side. Conservatory.
On the right, you can see the striking Sea Palace, the largest floating Chinese restaurant of Europe. It is a culinary high-standing restaurant with an extensive selection of Cantonese delicacies. 90 islands, separated by roughly 160 canals. Amsterdam has over 1,500 bridges. With over 8,000 monuments, it has an invaluable historical value. Approximately 2,000 buildings are located on the 800 hectares of old inner city, of which 1/3 dates back earlier than the year 1850. Amsterdam therefore possesses one of the most important and intact city centers of the world. On the 1st of February 1999, the inner city of Amsterdam was registered as protected cityscape under the law of monuments. Recently, the inner city has even been nominated for a place on the World Heritage List of UNESCO.
Looks like we're gonna go under the bridge. Looks like we're gonna go under that bridge. Which doesn't look like it has much room under there. We're headed that way. Nice little boat ride. Yeah, we go under the bridge. Look at the bags up under there, like somebody's living under there with their bags of goodies. Like we're under the bridge. Oh, there's a fisherman. And now we're on the other side. You can't reach over here to get through?
It doesn't seem to be bothering.
Look at that thing on there. That is really something. You need long arms to be able to reach through the hole.
Not a problem.
Here, on the right, we are passing the Montalbans Tower. This defense tower was part of a medieval wall, which was built after an attack on the city. The spire, in Renaissance style, was added later for decoration. In the beginning of the 17th century, the tower had lost its strategic function. After the citizens complained that they couldn't hear the chiming, the tower was extended to 48 meters and provided with a clock.
That's the one we seen last night in the dark. I thought.
And we walked down that way last night.
Yeah.
That was really
The many houseboats in the canals are used as permanent homes. At present, there are approximately 2,500 houseboats. The owners of these houseboats are required to have a permit, and costs depend on both sides. The houseboats are hooked up permanently to the city's water supply and have gas and electricity connection. Within the coming few years, all houseboats will be required to have connection to the sewage system. Because the limit on the quantity of houseboats has been reached, acquisition price is high. Especially after the Second World War, this way of living gained popularity rapidly. There was an acute housing shortage, and also many inland ships became available cheaply. Nowadays, the houseboats are characteristic for the city scene, and many people truly enjoy this way of living.
A beautiful boat ride. We're in Amsterdam.
On the left, you can see a number of characteristic warehouses. Almost all goods that were traded in the world in the 17th century were stored in Amsterdam warehouses. In the beginning of the 17th century, warehouses were built at large scale. Similar to the merchants' houses, these warehouses were narrow, deep and high. When the trading ships docked, the goods were transferred onto smaller flatboats and shipped to the warehouses through the canals, where they would be hoisted up to the attics.
I think we'll be coming up on the warehouses. Either that or on the other side.
Former sea lock. Nowadays, this lock is used during the freshening of the canal water.
Going through the lock.
If I was a green dot, I wouldn't admit I was on here.
There's a lock. I want to get a picture.
Hand clothing, books and
it's on the
stamps are
opposite
largely
side.
available. This market was founded at the end of the 19th century and business rapidly flourished. It is often said, if it is not for sale here, it does not exist.
There's a flea market on the other side. Can't get that. You have to imagine the flea market.
He said, no, he said, well, he saw him, but he didn't. I said, you know, with those buses that were lined up there too.
He didn't get on a bus.
Well, that's just it.
All houses and buildings in the city are built on piles. These piles cannot reach above groundwater level, as they will rot and leave the houses leaning to one side. Some canal houses are slightly tilted forward. Often, this is done on purpose, to avoid rain from coming into the houses or to attract attention to the gables. However, the main reason was to protect the gable when goods were hoisted in. The piles are mechanically driven into the ground, into the soil layers that are situated underneath the layer of peat. These piles are between 11 and 17 meters tall. In the old days, the piles were driven into the ground by mere manpower.
They're called the dancing houses because they're leaning different ways. Is that what he said? Oh, that'll be a nice picture too. Let me see if I can get it. They are leaning on that side.
Want to get out?
Over here is the leaning houses, and we're going to be going past them on my side now. After I got up to get a picture on the other side. There's the leaning houses. Leaning. Now you can see the leaning houses.
Here we are sailing on the River Amstel, the only natural waterway of Amsterdam. The construction of the dam on this river and the birth of the city. The river also granted its name to the city, as it used to be called Amsterdam. Am is ancient Dutch for river, and stella means dry area. On the left, we are passing a monument of modern architecture, the City Hall. In front of this lies the music theatre, the opera building of Amsterdam.
It's on the other side.
In 1986, the music theatre was opened by our Queen Beatrix. The nickname of this building is the Set of False Teeth of Amsterdam. The building is not only a monument of modern architecture, but also one of financial miscalculation. The total building cost exceeded the budget by more than 30%.
It was on the other side, guys. On the other side. Oh, I didn't get a picture of it. Just letting you know. That's pretty neat. Statue. Let me see if I can get a picture.
Nowadays, the bridge's official name is Skinny Bridge, but this is in fact a typically Amsterdam nickname for an extremely narrow bridge, which connected the two shores of the River Amstel in the 17th century. Legend has it that the naming of the bridge has another source. Once there were two extremely rich sisters who lived on either side of the Amstel. To be able to visit each other comfortably, they had this bridge built, and these sisters were known as the Ladies Maagd, which means skinny. At night, the Skinny Bridge is romantically lit up with 1,000 little lamps. The bridge is quite popular amongst lovers and photographers.
I hope that was a Skinny Bridge. I don't know if it was or not, but I was filming it like it was. I'm not a good narrator. I think we're going through the Skinny Bridge.
We will now enter the Gentleman's Canal, the most beautiful canal of the three main canals. Its name comes from the gentlemen regents who used to rule the city. In the 17th century, the Gentleman's Canal was dug out by Congress. The canal was intended for house construction by law, and industry was not allowed to sit there. Originally, a defense canal, dug out in the 16th century, was situated here. This was because a new city wall needed to be built, as the old rampart no longer met the demands of the warfare of that time. Amsterdam was the most important commercial center of Europe. The colonial empire was founded, and an unprecedented wealth was acquired, which profited all citizens. This wealth was, amongst others, brought about by large-scale immigration, rapid increases within the corn trade, and the absence of a feudal system. This situation created one of the first modern industrial regions in the world.
Well, make sure I'll have a list. So I'll bring a pad and then make sure everybody signs their name and address. So pretty when you go back and you watch them later. When we get old and we can't travel anymore, we're gonna relive it all through these videos. Oh, remember when we did that?
The most beautiful canals of the city.
On the left, and we're on the right.
This canal is crossed by 7 stone arch bridges. At the beginning of the last canal, because of citizen protest, this plan luckily did not go through.
On the left, after we go through, I guess. But I zoomed in. There's the canal. They're all taking pictures on the other side. You see the bridges. Uh-oh, I'm going to stand up now and get my way.
We have reached the number of 13 million pictures of this image. Let's go for 14 today.
Amsterdam was quadrupled when the 3 main canals were dug. The main canals form a concentric pattern, characteristic for the old city plan. The scale of the expansion proved too ambitious as space was in great excess for the 200,000 Amsterdam citizens of that time. Therefore, a large area in the eastern part of the city was turned into a recreational area. Actually, the city expansion consisted of 2 phases. The first phase started in the beginning of the 17th century, the second halfway through. However, they were both part of one common plan. Up to today, these great 17th century expansions determined the countenance of historical Amsterdam.
Wow, look at the old, up the top, the architecture on top of them. I think it's right there, if I can get up there.
On your left, you will soon see the house with the pillars, the official residence of the Lord Mayor, on house number 502. The house has a splendid interior and dates back to the 17th century. The ground floor and the first floor have a representative function. This house was donated to the city in 1927 by Dr. van Aalst, the president of the Dutch Trading Company. Nowadays, second and third floor serve as private dwellings to respectively the janitor and the Lord Mayor.
That's the house on the other side. There's all the bicycles. And we're going under another bridge. Everything's been on the left.
On the most distinguished part of the Gentleman's Canal, the famous Golden Bend. Here you can admire the beautiful patrician houses, which were built at the end of the 17th century. The owners of these buildings were well-to-do citizens, who had accumulated great wealth by trading and shipping. The 17th century is therefore referred to as the Golden Age, and at this time Amsterdam was the most powerful commercial center of the world.
elevators now.
You will often find magnificent gardens. Many still have their distinguished style of the 17th and 18th century. In the 17th century, it was decided by law that only a section of a parcel could be built upon. Thus, the remaining land would become gardens.
We're coming to another bridge. Express service.
I'm out of shape.
You will notice two narrow houses. They have identical gables and therefore are called the Twin Sisters. Amsterdam possesses approximately 200 to 300 twins, triplets and quadruplets. They were built simultaneously to save on building costs. Often, it also concerns speculation, houses that were to be let or sold. The quality of these houses was often poor. There were, for example, thin common walls. However, sometimes the houses were splendidly designed by well-known architects. Heading onto the Leidse Canal. The name refers to the city of Leiden. In the old days, boats used to sail through this canal in the direction of this city. In the beginning of the 17th century, the Leidse Canal was part of the boundary of Amsterdam. After the city expansion, it became available for private housing.
They got some big chandeliers and big rooms. Canal there. Look through that canal.
Houses are rather narrow, only a few windows wide. The reason for this is the scarcity of building land in the densely populated Amsterdam of the 17th century. Thus, the land was divided up into narrow, rectangular parcels. Occasionally, people would buy two parcels next to each other. They would live in one building and rent out the other. If you were wealthy, you would build one house on two parcels, the so-called double houses. Within the ring of canals, the scarce and costly land was utilized to the full. Thus, you can come across extremely narrow house fronts at times. It would seem like the house is only a door wide, but often the house becomes wider directly behind the door.
See those little doorways there, one on each side.
Princess Canal, one of the three main canals. This canal is named after the Princes of Orange, the Dutch stadholders of that time. In the 17th century, the Princess Canal was mainly used for the transport of goods. Its park-like structure was new for that time.
Turn in direction. Go down this other canal. Just don't run into the wall back there. Don't clap your hands yet. He's almost hitting the wall on that side. And there's the one we just came down. We turned around and now we're headed down another one.
And no bumps yet, so.
Yeah.
With their characteristic gables, dating from the 17th and 18th century. In the old days, Amsterdam houses did not carry house number plates. The gable used to serve as one of the factors a house could be recognized by.
What am I missing on the other side? Anything?
Almost identical to this side. A little bit more modern.
There's Christopher. Yeah. I feel nice with the cool breeze coming in. It feels good that I got my jacket on. You got a sweater on too, so it's hot. It's actually a beautiful day out.
The Jordaan, on your left, is undoubtedly the most romanticized port, and has surely inspired many songs.
It's on the
The
other
Jordaan
side.
came into being during the city expansion at the beginning of the 17th century. The porter, intended for workers, craftsmen, sailors and immigrants, had reached its building capacity within 30 years. In the last few decades, the atmosphere of the Jordaan has changed. After radical renovations, many of the old inhabitants left, and the Jordaan was rediscovered by a new generation of inhabitants, artists, students and young entrepreneurs. However, the Jordaan still has many things to offer, such as its boutiques, sidewalk cafes, restaurants and bars.
On the other side. Seems like everything's on the left side. I got on the wrong side. But we're getting a beautiful tour of the right side of the boat, not the wrong side.
Up on the Anne Frank house. That means that we are going to make a stop. And those of you who want to join us in the walk back to the ship, you can do so. It's about 3 miles altogether. We are going to walk down to the Dam Square. We'll have some free time there. And then we are going to walk to the train station and behind it to the ship. Now, if you don't want to walk that far, you can either get off here and take a tram to Central Station, or you can stay on the boat and it will take you back all the way where we started. The Anne Frank house will come immediately on our right hand side. We will see how big the line is, the queue is, and if there's some of you who want to visit it, we will try to estimate how long you have to stay in queue in order to visit it. Then you can decide for yourself. If you decide you want to walk, the only alternative, if you feel like, oh, it's too far, the only alternative that you will have after you step off the boat is to take the tram. Is that okay?
Okay.
Perfect. And that means when we stop at the Anne Frank house, right next to that steeple that we see there in front of us, we will say goodbye to our wonderful captain, Martin. Okay, shall I repeat? I think it is 10 euros at the moment. Yeah, 9 or 10.
You going to Anne Frank
On the
house?
right, you will see the monumental Western Church. On Whitsun 1631, when the church was opened, it was the largest Protestant church in the world. The Western Tower was completed 7 years later and stands 85 meters tall. On top of the tower, the magnificent Emperor's crown is situated, which signified the Emperor's protection over the city. The 40 splendid pipe organ inside. The interior is in Renaissance style.
right there.
On the right-hand side of this modern black building. That is part of the Antract Museum. Antract House is the next building after that.
Sometimes maintenance going on right now.
The museum and the old house. That one is the museum. The next one is the house.
Here's the church on this side. All right, here they all are getting off the ship. Here they all are getting off the ship. Getting off. So we're just going to
wait
ready
an
to
hour
walk
and a half?
around?
I'm afraid.
No,
And Frank House.
Says entrance. Look to your back, cars coming through.
And then we're going to go on a tour. It's an hour and a half wait, so we're not going to wait to get in it. We have to be back to the ship by 1:30, so we're off and running. What is this?
Different things.
Willie Albert,
Style of the roof of the house to show which one they were.
Who is that guy? To buy tickets, church, free entrance.
Yeah, you can go in here for free to the church, but if you want to go to the
concert, you gotta pay.
no, if you want to climb to the tower,
Oh, okay.
you have to pay.
The Western
Okay.
here, the Western church. We saw the old church yesterday. We saw the tower.
Okay, that's what it is. Look at the church. Donation box.
Amsterdam North came later. Here's the central station. We are here at the moment. And you see canal rings going around the city. Pretty much like a windscreen wiper, right? So like it's a half fan. They were not actually built from the inside to the outside, like you would think, that they could brew that way. They were very carefully planned, block by block. The last part is called Plantation. That's where I live. It was then a plantation. It's now all residential. And that's where the main zoo is actually as well. You see the giraffe here. I can hear them in the morning actually. The monkeys usually. But in the Maritime Museum. So, and then of course newer neighborhoods the further you go out. Now you see the Eye River. This body of water. This way it goes to the North Sea. You know, in about 10-20 minutes on the train, you're on the beach. The train stops actually on the beach right from Central Station. So on warm days that's something I really like to do. It's easy, you don't need a car because in the car it takes you hours to sit in traffic and find a parking spot at the beach because you know we have 7 million people in the area, they all go to the beach. Impossible. By train it's easy. But when we sail, we will actually go out this way past the Java Island in the direction of Utrecht, Nijmegen and Cologne this afternoon. Oh, is that me? Yes. Sorry, it's another program.
Where did he say we talking about the fish?
Sorry?
Is that I missed it. Put that raw fish down his throat.
That's
No,
still the line.
not me.
You see how-
From the fish to the cheese. Now he's going to show you about all the cheeses. From the fish shop to the cheese shop. I'm not interested in the cheese.
I think these are plastic.
They're the cheeses. They're just fake, huh?
Yeah.
Otherwise people would run off with them and there'd be no cheese. So they're not real. Walking on our walk. Learning more about Amsterdam.
This is actually part of a much larger monument. It's the pink line, goes all the way to the back, then all the way to the water. We see that from in the canal in a moment, and all the way back here. This is actually called Homo Monument in Dutch. It's a gay monument. Because in the 70s, on the national monument we see later, some gay activists actually tried to put flowers on it because they wanted to commemorate the persecution of homosexuals in the Second World War. And the police didn't allow it. And then they said, let's make our own monument. And they did. So this was actually the first monument in the world commemorating persecution of homosexuals by the Nazis, but actually by in any situation whatsoever. So we'll see a little bit, it goes all the way down to the canal in a minute when we cross the road. Well, this time gay and lesbian info point. All sorts of information and paraphernalia. Last week, as I said before, there was a huge event in the city, actually the largest one we have, as a festival. It's Gay Pride, which brought 1.5 million people to the city of all backgrounds, nationalities, orientations to have a party together. It's more almost like a carnival, because there's not much to win in the Netherlands in the form of gay rights anymore, because they're all there already. So it's more of a party sometimes than something else. But it's important to remember this. So we'll continue to the dam.
Come on, the triangle goes into the water.
Of course, it's especially meaningful in this corner next to Anne Frank, another victim of the same regime. Occupied this country for 5 years. This is the last bit of the gay monument. There's usually flowers on it, not today. I don't know why.
We're on our walk through the streets of Amsterdam, going down to Dam Square, where I can buy my souvenirs. Really a pretty building. Hotel Diane. That's why it's so pretty, it's a hotel. Yeah, or the one of those contests that they have. I didn't get a picture of that outfit. I should have, but I didn't. I'm falling behind the times here. Here's the canal. He didn't say which canal it was. At least he hasn't yet.
You see, Atte used to mean that the Dutch ran the world. Remember that Amsterdam was really the center of the world in that century. You know, sort of the New York of its day. And then on the dome beyond it, you see the little ship on top, the ship, symbol of Amsterdam at the time. I'll tell you a little more about the building. We're going to the other side of this palace, so we're looking at the back of it now. And on the other side is the Dam Square, which is really the main square of the city and your central orientation point.
Alright, we're in the back of the palace. Is he telling us anything about
some Dutch pragmatism here? Put a church next to it, where kings and queens can marry. You don't have to walk far. You know, we had a inauguration or crowning of the new king just a few months ago. Moved from Queen Beatrix to King Willem-Alexander.
Really?
Well, watch out, there's some people trying to get through. So. But it happens here in the new church. It's not actually a church anymore, used as a church. It's usually a museum exhibition space. But for royal events, it's turned into this wonderful space full of millions of flowers and crowns and chandeliers and tapestries and all the things you could possibly imagine. And then all the royalty in Europe arrived. I was told nobody was actually head of state, you know, because the guy was going to be crowned. And you don't want anybody who's already a king because, you know, they were sort of just as important as you. And you want to be the most important guy in town. So everybody below king or queen could come to the party. So there were the Belgian royals, the Swedish, you know, everybody. So just to commemorate, there are two pictures on the back of the church. Willem-Alexander on the left and his Argentinian wife, who is extremely popular and flamboyant, on the right.
Is that a political marriage?
No, it's not a political marriage. They just ran into each other in a bar in Buenos Aires. And she has the title to be the queen. The head of state is the king only. But just to be nice, we're calling her the king and queen. Maxima. From Argentina.
Argentina. And we're going across. All we can.
Very nice. Now shopping mall.
There was a post office, huh? Big shopping mall.
Magna Plaza. During the crowning it was renamed Maxima Plaza. Four, 3, 2, 1, go. You go. It says crown the orange family. Here's a new church, 11th of May, and there's an exhibition inside about this.
Don't want to get run over, Betty. Trying to get everybody in.
We've had crowns here. I mean, all the ones that I can remember anyway. Wilhelmina during the Second World War, Juliana, Beatrix, now Willem Alexander. He already has 3 little daughters, so the next one is going to be Queen again. This is Crown Princess. And this all happens here. Used for royal occasions. They don't actually live in this palace next door. It's usually only for special events. Because their actual residence is in The Hague, which is where our government is. Very strange operation. Government and the king in The Hague, but the capital is Amsterdam. A bit confusing. Next this morning, Eurodam. Everything's dam here. Everything's, you know, dam this, dam that. Dam is a word you see everywhere. It doesn't mean dam, of course. It means, you know, it's a dam in English. A dike type thing in the water to hold the water back. That's a dam. So we have the Royal Palace. Hasn't been really cleaned up yet. Only the lovely statues have so far. But it's closed at the moment. It's actually magnificent on the inside. Spectacular. Much nicer than on the outside, I think. But when the king was crowned, of course, there were lots of flowers and red carpets, and everybody could only watch all the royals walk from the reception party to the church, to do the crowning thing, and then back for another party. Yeah. So that's all we saw at that. Yes. The clock? That's a sundial. So you're supposed to be able to tell the time from it if the sun shines on it. If not, then you just have no time.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So, this is the central square of Amsterdam. I don't actually come here a whole lot anymore because basically it is always very, very crowded and it's become very, very touristy. Amsterdam gets millions of tourists. They come from Central Station mostly, and they end up here more than anything else. So the locals tend to stay a little bit away. However, there are main shopping streets this way and that way, sort of common high street shopping streets with main brands. There are other neighborhoods that have the specialty stores and boutiques where brand stores and chains are not allowed at all. Only local special stuff. Now, one local specialty of Amsterdam is coffee. Dutch brought coffee back from everywhere where they could find it around the world, and from here it actually went to Brazil, not the other way around. And so you have an excellent coffee house here. I really like Coffee Company here, although it's a chain. It's, I think, much better than Starbucks. It's round and creamy, and although Starbucks has its only roasting facility outside the US, here in Amsterdam, because the Amsterdam port is a major coffee bean redistribution center in Europe. So coffee is one of my favorites on this square, and right there. Then we have the Dutch main department store, for anyone who's interested. Luxury, high goods, we're talking Louis Vuitton, Hermes, blah blah blah, all the French stuff. In Bijenkorf, which means beehive. That entire building with the yellow flags on top is an enormous department store, men's clothing, furniture, ladies' clothing, kitchen stuff, beddings, books, whatever you want. Also, complimentary or free bathrooms. On the first floor, no, I should say American first floor, that's the second floor. Our first floor is, no, your first floor is the ground floor, so I should say second floor. Which in Dutch is the first floor. We don't call the ground floor the first floor, we call it ground floor, and then the first level is the first level on top of the ground floor. So your second floor is our first floor. So on level 1, there are free restrooms for ladies and gentlemen, but it's in the ladies department. And also all the way at the top, there's a very wonderful cafe where I go a lot, because there's a lovely cafe where you can stick your shoes And you have an outside terrace that has a lovely view over the city as well. You have a coffee, you can have a little sandwich or a salad or whatever you like. So that's a nice place to go, and I spend a lot of time in that place. So some people notice the statues there. That's Madame Tussauds, a major tourist attraction. Don't really know why. You like to see, you know, plastic versions of people. That's where you go. So.
What was the building? It's labeled Peek and.
Oh, Peek and Kloppenburg is a clothing brand, a chain of clothing stores, which is in the bottom here. Now. So from here, let me stand a little bit. I'm sitting a little bit here so nobody's behind me. I would like to strange looking pillar in the front there. It is the national monument that commemorates the Second World War. There are little steps in front of it. I'll walk to it in a minute. And I'll be there at noon. Then I'll walk back to the ship. But it's actually very easy to walk back to the ship by yourself. Because
Grand Central, 80 euros. Ticket now. 280. Oh, 280. Right.
So the rest of you, I'm going to cross the street, point out to you and see. Okay? And then noon, National Monument for everyone to walk back.
Okay. Whatever he's doing something with a whip over there.
Now, what I've actually learned over the years in street theater, that one of the best ways to come around.
So let's see if I can, when I get home, if I can read it. Alright, so I videoed in, and when I get home I'll try to figure out what the building is. It's the daytime, so the streets are crowded. But there's all those cute little houses. I'm taking it back. We're in Amsterdam. We're getting back to the ship at 1:30. I'm taking the video of it. Shooting into the sun is hard. Now this looks better here. We're doing that. See how it gets lighter and then it gets darker. A panoramic. You know, you can take pictures off of this, but I don't know how to do it. And there's where we're going to the station. The station's right down there. Freeze screen. And the screen could be, I don't know, especially on my camera, I know nothing. I'm going to get a new camera and sit and read all the directions. I don't know how to work it. I'm going way too fast, probably. Can't find no ice cream places here. That's because it's always cold. So we left, then we're leaving. Uh-oh, here comes a big barge going the other way. I'm going down the river. I'm gonna go upstairs and take some pictures from upstairs. I guess I should go on the other side. There's more on the other side. We're leaving. Alright. There's where we come from, back over there.
I could do a picture of you doing the Titanic thing.
Picture doing the Titanic thing out in the front of the ship. Oh, did I put my sunglasses in there? Probably not. In Amsterdam. We're on our way down the river cruise. The bridge coming up. You can zoom in on who's out there and you can zoom out. And take video. It's just crazy. Thank you for getting a picture of me. I don't have too many.
No, I hardly ever get my pictures.
When you're taking the pictures, you don't get in very many. There it is there. Wow. We're going down the river. Which river are we on now? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
You're not. You think he would be announcing it for us? Oh, now I got it. I didn't have it on a minute ago. Fixing to go into the channels. Leaving Amsterdam. And there's everybody that's going. Okay, we're on our way. What the heck is that noise from? I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know, it's making a lot of noise. That's even more noise. Maybe they're painting or something, I don't know. That thing might move underneath there and they're painting underneath it or something. Moves across and they're working on it. Doing something. On the back. And I'll get a picture. As we're traveling. Under the bridge. We're fixing to go under the bridge. Oh, now we're under it. And then there's another one right after. Nothing much along the river though. I guess they'll let us know if there's anything we missed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your first officer speaking. According to international maritime law, a mandatory safety drill for all passengers and crew is required. On hearing the ship's alarm, please go to your cabin, put on your life jacket and proceed lounge. Your program director are waiting in the lounge and will check that you are all present. Reception. Thank you.
Thank you. Mustard stations. On the river.
They should tell you if you go past something interesting.
Well, that's what I said. They haven't announced
No,
anything.
nothing. So you
At
don't
least
know
they
what
could have
you're
got up
seeing.
there and announced that we were leaving Amsterdam, you know, and we could have
Yeah.
took pictures leaving Amsterdam. I'm hoping if anything important comes up, they'll say something. But I can sit here and get this boat. Here's the Christina going by.
Huh.
Whatever that is. Probably some kind of a ship that has cargo on it or something.
Oh, car.
I don't know what that is. Some kind of
Clothesline.
storage. Anyway.
Up the back staircase and behind a small door. Open the door, take one giant step, and voila. Daddy and Mummy's room is right behind the staircase.
And down here was the town and all the people. And we passed some horses, but I missed them.
Oh, yeah. You saw one.
You're going through a lock, but I can't tell.
It has to be.
I can see where the water goes up to. Now you can see we're going through a lock. I can't believe they didn't announce it. But you know what? We'll see a whole lot more of these locks from upstairs.
Feels like we're going up.
There's been a selection.
And there's the green, and we still haven't stopped. So it's a big lock. There's where they tie up when we go through the lock. And there's the tower, but you can barely see it from in here because I'm in my room. If we were up on the deck,
I'm not too tired.
we can see it better than this if I was up on the deck. But I'm not up on the deck.
Notice.
Next time, all right, we're going to be going out from the lock. There's all the people watching us come through the lock. You're watching the boats go up and down in the locks.
I'll go way there. I'll meet you up there.
Okay.
I want to sign up for my little tour.
Okay, where are you going to? The dining room? Oh, you're going up on the deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going up on the deck later after the Anne Frank story gets over. And we come out of the lock.
It's sort of sunny out there.
Yeah.
Maybe I better take my sunglasses.
Yeah, it is sunny out. Alright, we just came out of the lock. I don't know if they said anything, but we didn't hear nothing in here about anything about the locks. The introduction of the captain and his crew in the lounge. Introduce the captain and his crew. I'm hoping I can go around the pole. And I can get it from here, hopefully. The captain's cocktail hour. Captain's cocktail hour. And the captain's cocktail hour.
I have the best crew. You must understand that I'm working with my crew 240 days a year. That is, I spend more time with my crew, with my children. And my crew is for me my children too. And I like my crew, and I will like introduce you my nautic department. I am very big, very fatty, but I can no working alone. Ladies and gentlemen, First Navigation Officer and Safety Captain, Mr. Boris Car from Croatia.
In the lock and it's getting darker.
You see, we are two captains here on the ship sailing. Where makes us? Autopilot. No. We have one captain more, that is Branko Marjanovic. He's sitting in wheelhouse and very, very strong working now. Please give you applause. Yes, it's not easy. Correct, that is the best. Ladies and gentlemen, this ship is 125 meters long, 1140 wide, and have too much technique. And for that we have our engineer on board. That is one special clever boys, Darko Car from Slovakia. And for the strong and difficult arbeit we have here our three sailors. That is Jan from Slovakia, Josef from Slovakia, and Dragan from Macedonia. Ladies and gentlemen, this team, we are 24 hours daily for you here, and we wish you very nice trip on our ship. All best. I have only 7 people, but now come our hotel manager Michaela. She have biggest department.
Thank you, Captain, our Papa Bear. You really is our Papa of the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, as Captain Buzgovic say, we do not work alone. We have a fantastic crew here on the MS River Adagio, and I would like to start with those who prepared this wonderful welcome dinner for you, and that's our galley department and our chef Attila Simon from Romania. We have cook Sorin from Romania, Milan Kristušev from Serbia, Mateo, your pasta omelette guy from Croatia, our food.
Wow, lots of stuff.
There's too many of them. Miška, Adrian from Romania, our dishwashers, Vladan and Daniel, and of course, our Rocky. So, big applause for the galley department, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, they are working in team with our dining room department, and you already know our Metodi, the restaurant manager, Dragan Rokovic from Bosnia. Our captain waiters, Georgi from Bulgaria. Where would you think this guy's from?
Mexican.
Mexican, Portuguese. No, Ivo is from Bulgaria. Our lovely ladies, Julia and Maria, Barbara from Slovakia, Andrei from Czech Republic, Kilir also from Bulgaria, and Georgi from Romania. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Has everyone found the chocolate on their pillow last night? Did you all eat it? Oh well, this is thanks to our housekeeping department, and the head housekeeper on our ship is Attila from Hungary. And almost all girls, and we have Inessa, Anna, Delia, Marina. This is not a girl, this is Tibor. And Simon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot your 2 doctors behind the bar. They are hiding. Please, Denis and Igor, please come and join us.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the smallest department on our ship. She's there standing lonely. My assistant hotel manager, left, right hand. My brains, Miška from Romania. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little help. I already mentioned last night that the reception is on 24/7, and also our night watch is Josipa from Croatia. She starts at 9 o'clock, so please a quiet applause for her. She's sleeping.
Let's go all the way to that. Hi, we're the people on the ship.
I know. We will just give a little rest. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have, this is not a separate department, she's of course part of our crew, our massage therapist Denisa from Romania. Great help at the front desk. strong hands. And he is hiding all behind you. Our beautiful, wonderful, great musician Tony from Hungary. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I must not forget the part of our family, the crew family, are also our program directors. And we have Mihai, Ante, Dina, and Kasper. So, ladies and gentlemen, from us, from the hospitality, from the nautical, we all wish you a fabulous cruise with us. Kaspar is very cute, I think so. Don't you think Kaspar is cute? Big applause for you, Kaspar. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the captain's welcome dinner, and thank you, crew.
Our first German city, and that is Cologne. But we have to prepare you, right? You're going to Germany, so we have to learn the language. Oh, I don't hear the applause now. Therefore, tomorrow morning we are going to have a German lesson for you. And let me tell you, it's not so much about the language. I mean, of course, you are going to learn the necessary words to get by in Germany, and you'll be able to practice them later and so on. But most importantly, we are going to learn a lot about the cultural differences. We are going to learn about the things that we shouldn't do or should do in Germany, how things actually work there. And this is something that we prepared for you in the morning. So, when you see on your daily schedule German lesson, don't think that we are going to have a teacher pointing at a blackboard and teaching you German like that. We are going to learn a few words, and then we are going to try to make it in a fun and entertaining way, because after all, you are on holidays and you want to be entertained, right? We are sailing, and let me tell you right now, the first German city that you are going to see, and that's because I'm a little bit lazy and I might sleep in tomorrow morning, so don't wake me up to ask me which town is this, because the first town you're going to see is going to be during breakfast time. I'm already telling you now, that one is Düsseldorf, okay? It's a really big town we are going to sail through, and that town is Düsseldorf. Afterwards, we keep sailing, we have our German lesson, and we are going to get around lunchtime to Cologne. Now, Cologne is a wonderful city. Cologne is a place, it's one of the biggest cities that we are going to see on this stretch. It's also one of the biggest cities in Germany, and it has a lot of things to offer. Everybody has heard about the Cologne Cathedral. If you are in the area, and I don't mean in the city, in the area, you will see it. Because it is the second tallest cathedral in Germany, and also the 5th tallest in the world. It is really, you can't miss it. So wherever you are in Cologne, you're bound to see the tip of the steeples of that cathedral. But that's not all. In Cologne, we are already on the Rhine River. We are going to get on the Rhine fairly soon, and then we are going to be tomorrow on the Middle Rhine, almost on the Middle Rhine. That area is what we call Rhineland. The Rhinelanders, they have a very special type of humor. We are going to see people that are priding themselves to be very witty. They have very biting humor. So please, when you go out for a beer in a pub in Cologne, don't be offended. Try to keep up with their humor, because they take as much as they give. They get into very nice competitions. Well, they also speak a dialect. The dialect in Cologne is called Kölsch. And there's something else that is called Kölsch. Does anybody know what it is? The beer, that's right. That's why we say Kölsch is the only language that you can drink. So, for tomorrow, we decided to, well, since the German lesson is going to be very short and you cannot probably assimilate that much in such a short time, we did something else. We gathered all these people that we are going to meet on our tour before that, and we taught them all English so you can talk to them. And you will see that one, they speak English, most of them do, quite good English. Two, you will see that they don't bite, they are friendly, so you can approach them and talk to them, but of course you might feel a little bit, should I go up and talk to him, what should I say, and so on. So that's why we decided, it's actually a very new thing and we need our help, your help, sorry. We decided to start a project that will give you an excellent icebreaker. And it's all tied in with the beer, Kölsch, the language, Kölsch, because, you know, I speak German. I grew up speaking German. If somebody speaks Kölsch to me, he could speak Chinese to me. I don't understand it. It's a dialect that is so different from the normal German that it is even